Hi everyone, Charlene Ortiz here. Today we are going to discuss why your New Year's resolutions failed. Happy New Year! And I know it's a little bit late for that as we're already 3 weeks through January. But I strategically planned this video at this time because in my experience, the 20 years I've been doing this, it usually takes about 3 weeks for people to kind of fall off the effort that they were making to reach their New Year's goals. Today I'll be talking specifically about health and fitness goals, obviously, because this is a fitness channel. However, the different tips and aspects of New Year's resolutions I'm going to discuss will apply to pretty much any resolution that you make. And so I love New Year's. I've never been someone that's ever made New Year's resolutions ever. But I love the fact that it is a time of year where people do make resolutions. And certainly January can be a tough month because we're all kind of recovering from the holidays. Some of us have a wonderful experience during the holidays, although it can be stressful and a lot of energy. And some of us not so much. We might not have family or close friends. We might be alone. We might have family members or people, loved ones that we've lost. And the holidays are a very difficult time. For whatever reason, the holidays are definitely a difficult time for a lot of people and a wonderful time for other people. But it's definitely a stressful time regardless. And so in the month of January is usually a time where people will look back on the past year and just reflect on the things about that year that they really felt good about and the things about that year that they want to improve on in this next coming year, 2018. I certainly had a really crazy year last year, moving here to Las Vegas, losing my dog. So a lot happened in between there too, but it's definitely been a crazy year for me. And some good, some bad things happening, just like with anybody else. I did end up quitting the job that I got, which was disappointing, but the manager that I was working under, unfortunately, was quite dishonest. And I can't work under somebody who lies. Just blatantly lies about situations and circumstances. And I might do a video about that whole situation later on. So that was kind of disappointing, but that's okay. I'm grateful I had the luxury to quit that job because my husband is working and we are making enough money, for me to not have to work right now. And he completely supports that. And I'm so grateful for that because I know a lot of people that do suffer from any type of chronic illness. And they can't work or they have to work even though they shouldn't be working. They don't have that luxury. So I'm forever grateful to my husband for that. And I always will be. So New Year's resolutions are definitely something that is a topic of discussion in the first week of January. And I think that most people would agree that losing weight or getting into better shape and improving your health in some way is probably the most popular New Year's resolution. We also make resolutions about changes in our character that we'd like to see. Maybe we want to be a less angry person or more patient or more social, outgoing, whatever it is. It might be perhaps pursuing school, going back to school, starting a new business, trying to improve your financial situation in some way, but we all have different resolutions and things that we want to improve in the coming year. And by the third week of January is usually when people will realize if they haven't been successful at carrying out the different goals that they have set for themselves, they'll just kind of fall off and say, forget it. It's just not going to work. Maybe it's just not meant to be for me or what have you. Every single gym I've worked at, and I've worked in a lot of gyms throughout my career, the 3-week mark has always been pretty much the average, benchmark for when we know people are going to stop coming to the gym and just fall off their fitness goals. And it used to be a joke, especially the last gym I worked at, because I was there for 6 years, where the women would complain the first week of January that the gym was too crowded, the machines are all full, they had to wait for them, the classes were way too busy. And I would always tell them, wait 3 weeks and trust me, it'll go pretty much right back to normal. We'll still have a couple people left behind from the New Year's resolutions, but for the most part, they're pretty much going to fall off. And I know that sounds like a terrible thing to say, oh, Charlene, how can you be so pessimistic? But it's true. It's what I saw, it's what I experienced, and it's been true across the board for every single place I've ever worked at. So if you have not done well in keeping up your New Year's resolution, whatever it is, but specifically with your health and fitness goal, I'm going to talk about why and what you can do to keep yourself on track with that goal so that your New Year's resolution becomes a lifestyle for you that you maintain for the rest of your life. So there are 3 things that you need to think about when you make your New Year's resolution. Number 1, what is your motivation for why you want to achieve this goal? Number 2, what is your perception of where you're at now? And number 3, what expectations have you put on yourself? All right, starting with motivation. Your motivation for why you want to achieve these goals has to be solid. It has to be something that will really push you to stay committed to a fitness program and to a healthy eating plan, not a diet, a healthy eating program where you slowly, little by little, start to incorporate healthier foods into your life. Your motivation has to be very solid. If any of you have seen my video, how I've motivated myself to exercise every day for 23 years, I talk a lot about the health challenges that I've endured, over the past, 30 years, starting with my pancreatic surgery when I was 11. And because of a lot of the health challenges that I suffered, when I at one point realized I did not want to be weak anymore. I was tired of being so frail and sickly all the time. And I had just made a decision that I'm not going to live like this anymore. This is no way to live. This is no quality of life. And I need to do something. And that's when I started exercising and making this a part of my daily life. And 23 years later, here I am, still active, and I will do this until the day I die. And so for me, my motivation has always been very solid. So you have to think about what your motivation is for wanting to achieve your health and fitness goals. If your main motivation is for aesthetic reasons, that you want to lose weight, you want to look good in your clothes, and you want to have a bikini body by summertime, you will fail. And what infuriates me about the media and the commercials that are put out there is that is the main focus of all these commercials. Get bikini body ready. Look how many pant sizes she dropped. Look how much better my butt looks, and, yada, yada, yada. Now, the aesthetic aspect is a wonderful benefit of exercising and eating healthy. And there is nothing wrong with wanting to look good. Everybody wants to look good. Everybody wants to feel confident in their body. I want to look good. I want to feel confident. I want to feel good when I put on clothes. I want to have fun when I go shopping. And so there is nothing wrong with wanting to look good. And it's wonderful to have that as part of your goal. However, if that is your main motivator, you will most likely fail. And the reason for that is because for most people, it's going to take time and it's going to take patience before you start to see the actual physical changes in your body in terms of the body fat going down, the shape of your body changing. Now, the physiological changes you will start to see before you see the actual physical changes. And so that meaning that your energy levels will start to increase, your mood starts to increase, your sleep will start to get better, stuff like that. And so The aesthetic value of exercise, again, is something that comes with consistency and that comes with time. And so if you have been exercising, for several weeks and you feel like you're not losing weight as quickly as you want, you're not really seeing changes in how your clothes are fitting or what have you, then you're going to get discouraged and give up and tell yourself, well, this is why I can't lose weight. Every time I try, it doesn't work, and I'm not able to accomplish any of my goals and get into the clothes that I haven't been able to wear for 10 years, what have you. And if that's your main motivation, then you're going to stop and you're going to fail at achieving your goals. So you need to have a solid foundation and motivation for what drives you to want to be healthy. And so your main motivation, in my opinion, needs to be your quality of life and how you feel. Because being in shape, being strong, being healthy really gives you a tremendous amount of freedom that nothing else can compare to. It is absolutely feels so empowering and amazing to be able to just feel strong and healthy. That if anything ever happened, if there was ever an emergency or I needed to get away from someone or something, I would have a good chance of being able to run, climb, jump, do whatever I needed if there was any type of situation where my life might be in danger. And also, again, just to be able to do daily activities are so much easier for me, like doing the laundry. Because I have to go to the laundry facility in my apartment complex, I have to carry the laundry there, and I usually have 2 huge bags on my shoulders. And to be able to have the strength and ability to carry that and not have to ask my husband every single time. Sometimes I do ask him, but knowing that I have the ability to do it on my own gives me a tremendous amount of confidence, a feeling of independence, and it's incredibly empowering to have a strong, healthy body. Not a thin body, a strong and healthy body, because there is a big difference. And so that is something, that motivates me to do this every day, because I just love how it makes me feel. I love how it helps me with my illnesses, with my fibromyalgia, with my back problems. I still do suffer from a lot of the pain and discomfort of these conditions. But I am a member of a lot of different chronic pain groups on Facebook, and I meet a lot of wonderful people on there. And there's a lot of people that have to take much stronger medications than I have to take. And of course, some of them have conditions that are more severe than mine. And their ability to be able to live just a functional life is much more difficult for them. And it just makes me so grateful, that I'm able to do a lot of different activities because of the effort and energy that I put into taking care of myself. So that is a huge motivator for me. Another motivator is just appreciating and respecting your body for what it is. Over the past 20 years that I have been studying the body and the physiology of how it works, all the way down to the molecular, cellular level, to the neurological system and just how the neurotransmitters interact, it's just absolutely amazing. And we still haven't even tapped into a fraction of understanding how the body functions the way it does. Some of it is so intricate and so incredibly sophisticated that we still don't understand how certain things work and why and how they work that way. So even if you're someone that is not happy with where your body is at health-wise, and you have maybe a disability or chronic illness, or maybe you don't, because you're overweight, or maybe you're just out of shape, you have chronic pain or chronic back pain, what have you, you might feel like you have this horrible, terrible body that is useless and can't do anything. And that is absolutely not the case. Your body is amazing. The different functions and mechanisms that are happening inside of you every single second of your life are so phenomenal. You couldn't even begin to understand how hard your body is working and how perfectly it is working to keep you breathing, to keep your heart beating, to keep your cells multiplying, to keep your hair growing, to keep your skin renewing itself, to keep your brain, able to think and process information, and to be able to read and see light and colors and whatever. I mean, again, I can't even begin to explain all the different functions that your body does every day that we don't think about and we take for granted because it's just something that we experience. So appreciate and respect your body enough to take care of it. It is working very hard to take care of you. And when you put that energy and effort to take care of your body, it takes care of you even better. And I always use the car analogy because our cars are so important to us. And how many of us make sure we get our oil change every 3,000 miles? Make sure that we're putting gas in our car so that it can run. Make sure that our car is staying clean and we vacuum and wash it outside, or we, bring it to a service to do that. If something is significantly wrong with our car, like the transmission or something, we can't afford to get a new one. We do whatever we can to figure out how to pay for that because our car is important. We need our car. And so how much more important is your own body, and how much more sophisticated is your own body compared to a car? And so you wouldn't neglect your car. We all make the energy and the effort to invest in our car, in the different maintenance, in the different services that it needs to keep it running well. You need to do the same thing for your body, just the same way that your car is working hard for you to get you from A to B so you don't have to walk or take a bus or ride a bike. Your body's working very hard to keep you alive and functioning. And it needs you to do the same for it. So have respect and appreciation for your body. And also for those of you that have children or just, family members that love you, you need to think about their future and your future with them. Number one, you need to think about, if you are in a very unhealthy state in your life, you need to think about, how much longer will I be able to be around for my children? Because even as adults, your children are always going to need you. They're gonna want you to be around for a very long time. I'm 42 years old. I still need my mom. I still love my mom. I still depend on her, for certain things. And she's my mom. I want her to live for another 100 years. She probably will. I mean, she's so incredibly healthy. And she looks 20 years younger than what she is. She's amazing. But, I love my mom. And I want her to be around for a long time. I'd be devastated, if anything ever happened to her. And so think about your children. Think about, just the devastation that they would feel if anything ever happened to you because of your health, because you didn't take care of yourself and make that effort. Number two, you want to be an example to them with the choices that you make with your own health and fitness, by eating healthy, by cooking healthier foods, by not getting fast food all the time. And I know I've shared this story 100 times, and I will 100 times more, because I'm just so proud of it. When my mom was raising us, she was a single mom, immigrated here from Guatemala, cleaned houses 10 hours a day, and came home every single day and made a home-cooked meal for me and my sister. And it was not easy for her. And I am sure the last thing she wanted to do after cleaning houses for 10 hours is stand up for another, 1 or 2 hours cooking us dinner. But she did it every day. And she always made healthy foods, fresh foods, and I will forever be grateful to her for providing that type of example and for instilling those types of habits into me and my sister. Because now it's so much easier for us to make healthy choices, and we don't struggle with weight problems. And I have my mom to thank for that, for instilling those values into me at a very early age. So right now, especially if your children are young and they're still impressionable, right now is the time to start teaching them. This is the way to eat. We need to be active. We need to be doing things and going out and playing instead of, playing video games all the time. Although I love video games, I play them sometimes. They're a lot of fun. But not all the time. They don't need to be on their phone, on the computer all the time. Get them out and playing. And that's definitely one thing that, as parents, it's very important to instill those habits early on. And I'm telling you, 10, 20 years from now, when you see that your children, they're strong, they're healthy, they're confident. There's so many different benefits that exercise has, for our brain functioning and our mental health. It goes so much further than just losing weight and, what have you. But when you see your children living a good, healthy lifestyle and they're feeling confident and they're achieving great things, you will feel very good. Like, I instill those values in my children, and I'm so glad that I did. So your motivation needs to be something that is solid. It needs to be something that even on the days when you're exhausted, when you're tired, when your schedule gets really busy, that no matter what, you will find a way to fit in some type of activity. And my channel is all about workouts you can do from home. You don't have to join a gym to get in shape. And that's one of the first things that people do, is go join a gym. Now, if that helps you, if you like to be around people and you feel like you need to get out of the house or what have you, then that's fine. But if you're someone who has joined a gym 5 or 6 times in your life and you've never been committed and always ended up canceling the membership, maybe you need to try working out at home. Maybe that'll be a better option for you. And this whole channel is designed for that. Every single workout, except for one I did at my other job, which was kind of weird. Like, that video didn't do that great. Not that I get a whole bunch of views on my video. I'm a small channel. But that one video, people didn't seem to be as interested in it because it was at a gym. And I think people wanted to see workouts from home. And so that's what my whole channel is about. And so if that's been a challenge for you to, get out and make it to the gym, then start exercising from home. The important thing is that you exercise and that you get past the different reasons and obstacles for why you don't exercise regularly. And whether it's because of time, again, you don't have time for the gym, what have you. And then, if you say, well, I don't like working out from home. Well, if you don't have time to go to the gym, what's your other option? Work out from home. But what's important is that working out, exercising, has to be an option. Not doing it cannot be an option. So if that means that you have to do it from home, then you do it from home, because it's the end result that's important. And just, again, letting go of the different reasons and aspects of why you don't do it or why it's difficult for you. You just have to let it go, and you have to stop making excuses for it. Number 2 is your perception of where you're at now. Now, again, losing weight is the most popular New Year's resolution because people want to look better. If you hate your body now, then it's going to be very difficult for you to make changes and to make improvements to it. Because you're not going to dedicate time and energy to something that you hate. And if that's yourself and your body, you're just not going to be motivated to do it. And you might be thinking, well, Charlene, that's easier for you to say. You're not 50 pounds overweight like I am. You don't have, a lot of the weight problems that I have. And that's true. But I have had a lot of situations in my life and aspects of my life that I'm not happy about, that I've had to change my perception. And like my financial situation, I'm not happy about where it's at right now. And there's a lot of challenges that we're dealing with. And I wish it wasn't that way. I wish things were a lot more stable. And I have to change my perception of where my life is now and be grateful for the things that I do have. Like when I was taking the bus, when I was living in LA, my car got repossessed. We were living in a 1-bedroom apartment that was infested with cockroaches. We had a horrible landlord. It just, it was a really, really difficult time. And I had to still find things about my life that I appreciated in order for me to be able to be clear-minded enough to make the energy and the effort into doing what I need to do to improve that situation, which it has improved. And so your perception of yourself and your body will drastically affect whether or not you stay committed. You have to find things about your body that you love. Even the physical, superficial part of it. You have to find aspects of your body that you love. You know, maybe you have great skin. Maybe you have beautiful full lips. Maybe you have nice hair. Maybe you have natural nails that grow long on their own. Maybe you have nice long eyelashes or great eyebrows and you don't have to get, you know, your eyebrows dyed. Or maybe you have cute ears, you know, that aren't too big. Whatever it is, you know, we all have physical aspects about ourselves that are very unique and that are beautiful and that we can look at and appreciate. So instead of looking at yourself and picking apart the things that you hate, instead look for the things about yourself that you love. And I am talking about the physical superficial, because we do need to find things that we love about how we look physically. It doesn't mean that you're in denial if you do need to lose weight and you know that you're not healthy. It doesn't mean you're in denial. It just means that you change your perception of how you see yourself now. You find you find self-love, and based on that, on how much you respect and appreciate yourself and your body, will help to motivate you to want to improve it and make it better. Because I am certainly, I absolutely love it when I see a woman, you know, that is thicker, that is larger, and she has a beautiful outfit on, her makeup and her hair is done, and she just is, you know, strutting her stuff, looking sexy, feeling sexy, and she just feels so confident. You know, even though, you know, she might be 50 pounds overweight, she is still embracing her beauty. She is still enjoying being a girl and dressing up and doing fun things. Now, I will say, I am not a supporter of the healthy at every size movement. Honestly, I despise it. And one of these days I might do a video about it. I absolutely despise it because I feel like it has just put this idea in people's head that even if you're morbidly obese, that it's okay to stay there and it should just be accepted. That infuriates me. And the reason why it infuriates me is because in my line of work, I have worked with countless people that are morbidly obese. And the pain and the suffering that they've had to endure is just been heartbreaking for me to see. And even some I know now have died, and they died young, like in their 50s. And so this movement is very much directed at younger girls too, who might not be seeing the repercussions of it now. But as the years go by, the repercussions will be drastic. Some might be irreversible. And for me, it has been devastating to see what some of these people have endured, you know. And so that's why the movement infuriates me in terms of how they promote it. But I do absolutely support women and men feeling attractive, beautiful, handsome, no matter where you're at, embracing and loving yourself, loving your body, and having a perception of yourself that you are valuable, that you are worth being healthy, that you are worth being strong, and you deserve to live a quality of life to its optimal potential. And also, when it comes to perception, your perception of what is healthy also needs to be healthy. So, and I know you've probably heard this a million times. Skinny does not mean healthy. It does not mean healthy at all. However, people that are thinner as opposed to people that are obese are going to have less health challenges in general. But I have worked with clients that were theoretically 30, 40 pounds overweight and were absolutely amazing. They were just fitness beasts. And they would definitely, take down any, 110-year-old 5'4" girl any day that was skinny and scrawny with no muscle mass, what have you. So, there have been circumstances, many circumstances where I've had women that would be considered somewhat overweight. And I'm talking somewhat. I'm not talking about like 100 pounds overweight. Were absolutely amazing and incredibly healthy and will probably go on to live a very, very long life, and they will enjoy their life. So again, your perception of what health is also has to be an accurate perception of what it means. And number 3 are your expectations. The expectations that you put on yourself when you make your resolutions are going to, again, determine whether or not you succeed or you fail in achieving these goals. So you have to be very realistic. And this is something I've said many, many times. If you are excited about getting into shape and making these changes for your health, it's a wonderful thing. But sometimes people can get overly ambitious, and they will dedicate themselves to going to the gym every single day for 1 to 2 hours a day. And they'll go in their fridge and they'll throw out all their unhealthy food and fill it with just the healthy food and only fruits and vegetables and healthy grains and leaner meats, what have you. Or maybe they'll decide to go vegan, and they've always been a meat eater. And then they, after a couple weeks of, trying to live this lifestyle, they start to realize they are seriously craving a donut. They are dying to have a hamburger. They are exhausted and frustrated because they are spending so much time at the gym, and now they have less time to relax at home and get other things done. And so you need to be very clear and realistic with your expectations. For example, if you're someone who has never in your life eaten healthy, like you never have, I really don't recommend throwing everything out in your house and filling it with only healthy options. It's kind of like going to a heroin addict and just taking all the heroin away and expecting that come off the drug and never go back to it again. You have it just like any other drastic change that we're trying to make. It usually has to be done in stages. And so if you watch my nutrition, my videos, step 1, step 2, step 3, there are 3 different videos on how to change your nutrition. I give you some tips and I talk about that, about how you can start to make different slow changes so that you can be successful in reaching your goals, and also enjoying your food. Because when it comes to nutrition, you should always be enjoying what you're eating. And whatever nutrition plan that you have committed to needs to be something you can stick to for the rest of your life. Otherwise, you will not be successful. Now, there is that very minute group of people that have been successful with drastic changes, but in general, most people don't respond well to that. The same when it comes to your exercise programs. Set a goal that you absolutely can do, no matter what. If that goal, if you're someone who has never ever been active in your life, then set a goal to exercise 2 days a week for 30 minutes. Whether it's at home, at the gym, a walk, whatever it is. It's got to be a good, challenging workout. Not so much that you hurt yourself, but just enough where you do feel discomfort, you do feel like you're breaking a sweat, your heart rate's elevating, your breathing is elevating, and you feel like you accomplished something, after that time period. But start off, 2 days a week for 30 minutes. Do that for the first week. If you've been done well, you've been successful, you're going to feel a sense of accomplishment and achievement. The next week, you might be ready to add a third day, or you might be ready to go to 40 minutes, whatever it is. But you always want to set realistic goals for what you're going to be able to be committed to. You also want to set realistic goals for what you can achieve body-wise. And so if you're a man, who's always been, kind of small and a little scrawny, you're not going to bulk up like Dwayne Johnson. And vice versa. If you're a man who's built like John Goodman, you're not going to be able to get down, to the body composition of Brad Pitt. It's just not going to happen. And for a woman, it's the same thing. If you've always been very thick and full and voluptuous, you're not going to get down to a size 2 or even a size 4, maybe not even a size 6, or a size 8. The lowest you might get down to might be a size 12. But your body could be at its maximum potential at a size 12. Your body could be strong and healthy and muscular and firm and functioning and full of energy. It doesn't matter, and again, there is a limit in terms of when it comes to weight. There is a limit where a certain amount of weight is just unhealthy no matter what. But again, if you're someone who is healthy at a size 12, you feel great, you look great, then that is your expectation. You might be somebody that has more of a Beyonce type body or J-Lo type body. Or it might be the opposite. You might be someone who has a body more like Jennifer Aniston, where you have more of a slender body. Don't make it a goal to try to, develop a butt like Kim Kardashian. She's not a good example. J-Lo, I said J-Lo. She has, I think, the most awesome butt ever. But I think Kim Kardashian's a little bit big, but I don't know. Some people think it's gorgeous, but either way, be realistic about what you're going to be able to achieve and be at peace and be comfortable with that and embrace that. And so New Year's resolutions, are definitely a very tricky thing because a lot of us are trying to make changes and incorporate habits into our life that we've never had before. And so keep that in mind. If you're trying to start some type of a habit that you've never been able to be committed to before, you need to evaluate why you haven't been able to be committed to that. And what did you do last year that didn't work? Don't do it again. If you joined a gym last year and it didn't work, don't join a gym again this year. Find a way to exercise, where you can go hiking outside, or again, you can work out from home, or maybe join a group fitness class somewhere, a martial arts class. Maybe the gym was just too boring for you, or maybe you needed to hire a personal trainer. Maybe you needed that appointment, that guidance. And some of you might say, oh, Charlene, but that's so expensive. And yes, it is expensive. But if you just invested in maybe 5 sessions with a trainer, just to kind of give you a good program and get you started, you would definitely, if you want to hire a trainer, you want to check out my ebook, How Do You Know If You're Hiring a Good Trainer? The link is in the description below. And that will give you some great tips and things that you need to look for before you hire a trainer. So that way you know that you are investing your money wisely into someone who's going to be educated and be able to give you a great service without hurting you and help you to reach your health and fitness goals. So anyway, guys, I hope that helps. For those of you that have been having a difficult time sticking to your plan for the New Year's resolutions that you have to get healthy. One of my New Year's resolutions, again, I know I said I don't really make them, but I do want to start recording 3 videos a week. That's my goal. Unfortunately, with the way my health is, it can be unpredictable. There are some weeks where I'm just so sick and I'm spending, 2 or 3 days in bed. So it doesn't happen often. That's actually quite rare when that happens. But that is my goal, to be able to do a couple of videos for exercises you can do, videos on research and information for you guys to help to improve the quality of your life, even if whatever chronic illness or condition you may have. So you can look forward to your next workout of the week coming up, because as I mentioned before, I am now doing it as a bi-weekly thing. Every week was just too much for me, and I had to lower my expectations so I could be successful with that. So if there's any questions or comments, please comment below. I do read all the comments. And my channel is quite small. It is growing slowly but surely. But you know, like I said, with motivation, if my motivation for this channel was to be getting a lot of subs and a lot of views so I can make ad money or whatever, I probably would have quit, because it is growing very slowly. It's not like I'm really reaching out to a huge demographic of people. But my motivation for why I'm doing it is for every subscriber, you know, that signs up and benefits from it and is able to improve their quality of life. And that's all I really care about. So, but yeah, so definitely let me know if there's anything specific you'd like me to talk about, or any questions, comments, what you thought about this video, what have you. So remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos to help you to improve the quality of your life. And also make sure that you pick up or you download my ebook, how to make your New Year's resolution into a lifestyle. I will put it description in the link below. I'm going to try to put like a picture up. If I was successful, you're seeing a picture of it right now. I did get a new computer for Christmas, which is awesome, which means I can edit. And so, but it doesn't mean I know how to edit. So I can at least start experimenting and trying. So I'm hoping that with the video I'm filming right now, I'm able to kind of add some things in here to make it more interesting. I don't know. We'll see. You'll know when you're watching it right now if I was successful with that. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I always enjoy your time and appreciate and enjoy your time and attention. Remember, take care of yourself. Protect yourself physically and emotionally. And don't forget, your health is your most valuable asset. Invest in it. Bye-bye.